Snow, sleet, and being stuck inside, oh my, that really can't be all there is to do during winter in Northern Virginia, can it? Hey team, I'm Emily Howlett and I'm a local real estate agent here in Northern Virginia and Maryland. Winter might seem like a time to stay at home curled up with a warm blanket and some hot cocoa or tea. I fully support that as your main option, as I do it all the time. But sometimes you still want to go out and do something fun. So what options do you even have? Thankfully, in this area, you have a lot. First up, if you're not afraid to embrace the cold, there are plenty of outdoor sports and activities available. They may not be in your backyard, but they're really not all that far of a drive away, and it's totally worth it to make the trip. Just a few options to consider include Whitetail Resort, Bryce Resort, Snowshoe Resort, and Wintergreen Resort. Each resort has something unique to offer, so you'll get a slightly different experience at each location. This area has tons of sports options to choose from, and winter is the prime season for hockey. Check out a home game for the Capitals and enjoy the thrill of seeing the hometown team at work. Already have a favorite hockey team? That's cool too. Check them out if they're ever playing locally. Pro tip, since you're in the heart of DC, it might be a good idea to take the metro, a rideshare, or a taxi so you don't have to fight to find parking. If you do drive in, it may be quicker but a little more expensive to just use a parking garage rather than trying to find street parking. I don't know what exactly it is about ice skating, but I find it to be just magical. Apparently, I'm not the only one in the area that thinks so, because there are plenty of locations where you can get out and get your skate on. Probably the closest one, Pentagon Row Outdoor Ice Rink, is a great option. While a bit on the smaller side, you can still have a great experience on the ice and off, with an outdoor stone fireplace to warm up with and plenty of shops nearby to check out when you're done. Keep in mind that this location requires tickets to be bought 2 weeks in advance, so be sure to plan ahead. A couple other options that don't require as much advance notice include the Washington Harbor Ice Rink, National Sculpture Garden Rink, or the Wharf Ice Rink. Alexandria's biggest holiday weekend, an annual tradition held in early December, has so much to offer anyone looking for some cold weather activities. Alexandria was founded by Scottish immigrants and was also named after a Scot, so it's very fitting that they have a parade to celebrate the city's heritage. First up, we have the Taste of Scotland, where you can taste all sorts of Scottish drinks and foods, all while viewing a custom art exhibit in the Torpedo Factory. Next, and fittingly named, the Scottish Christmas Walk Parade embraces the city's heritage and provides onlookers views of traditional Scottish clothing, music, and even some dancing. And last up in the weekend festivities, but definitely not least, check out the Holiday Boat Parade of Lights. Being close to the water is great, and Alexandria takes advantage of the amazing waterfront views by placing the boats front and center, complete with a competition for the best holiday light display. And if you're wondering just how decked out you can really make a boat, let me assure you, they get pretty creative. With all of this and more, it's no wonder Condé Nast Traveler named the city as one of 2021's best places to spend Christmas in the United States. New Year's Eve rings in not only a new year, but the start of winter as well. And where better to celebrate both than in any number of New Year's Eve events in the area? Whether you're looking for a black tie event, something a little more laid back, or a full-on party to ring in the new year, there are plenty of options. And with so many options to choose from, it's very likely that you'll find something in a location that fits your needs. One of my personal favorites is First Night Alexandria. This event includes activities ranging from comedians to musicians that starts at noon and runs till midnight and culminates in an awesome fireworks show over the Potomac River. This is a really popular event, so you may want to show up earlier rather than later to get a prime spot for both parking and firework viewing. Having a hot drink in your hand is a perfect way to warm up when the weather outside is frightful. See what I did there? For real though, while I love the smell of coffee and understand the value it brings in perking people up, I'm more a fan of a steaming mug of chai latte or a hot cocoa, and hitting up one of the locally owned cafes in the area is a perfect spot to do that. Thankfully, you'll have so many awesome cafes to choose from since Northern Virginians really know the value of a good coffee, tea, or hot cocoa. I think I may just have to do a video about that in the future. Until that happens though, check out Edito's Coffee and Social House. This spot is a local favorite and it's easy to become a regular, what with the awesome drinks and superb service. Another local favorite is Commonwealth Joe Coffee Roasters. Whichever you choose, you are in for a treat. Holiday lights and decorations, at least for me, make up at least half the charm of the entire winter season. Hands down, they're really just amazing. You really can't beat driving or wandering the area, seeing all the decorations that people put so much work into perfecting. Thankfully, Northern Virginia has some seriously awesome choices for your light viewing needs. Just to get you started with a few options, pop over the river for a tour of the National Christmas Tree and associated decorations. Then come back and visit the Meadowlark Winter Walk of Lights, where the gardens transform from your typical garden to a winter wonderland. Also be sure to check out the Bull Run Festival of Lights drive-thru, where you get the benefit of staying warm and seeing an awesome display of decorations. I don't know how it happened, but somehow go-karting has become a winter tradition for me. Maybe it's the rush of the wind in your face as you go flying around the track, or maybe it's the thrill of seeing where you place in the rankings. Either way, it's a really fun time, and I'm sharing it with you as a potential option for your winter fun activity list. It is a little pricier of an activity, and it's also a bit further out in Northern Virginia, so it's probably not something that I'd recommend every weekend, but I would say that it's definitely worth giving a go once or twice. What are some of your favorite and unexpected holiday traditions? Let me know in the comments. If the go-karting isn't enough to get your blood pumping and you need a little something extra, check out any of the local polar bear plunges. If you're not familiar with this chilly adventure, it's where you jump into some extremely cold water in spite of the fact that it's the middle of winter. It's usually a way to raise money for charity, so that's a big plus to this incredibly cold option. While it isn't exactly my idea of fun, it's actually surprisingly popular and might be right up your alley. Some local options include the Mosaic Plunge, held in the Mosaic District of Fairfax, or the Virginia Polar Dip, held at the Reston Community Center. With a quick search online, you'll find quite a few options locally as well as further out. Thankfully, winter in Northern Virginia doesn't mean staying cooped up all winter if that's not what you really want to do. Are there any winter activities that I didn't mention here or that you absolutely love? Or even better, have you tried some of these options? I'd love to get your input. And if you're thinking of moving to the area and want to know more about what to do every season, be sure to check out my best activities video for fall and keep an eye out for a video on fun things to do in the spring and summer. If there's anything I can do to help, I'd love the opportunity to do so. Please reach out however is easiest for you. Text, email, or call. I'm here to help. Last thing, before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe if you thought the video was helpful and you want to see more like it.